So the first point of interest I wanted to talk about in T.L. Taylor's second chapter of her book, Watch Me Play, is the concept that streaming is tied to a larger historical trajectory of television and internet broadcasting, but it's simultaneously deeply rooted in our contemporary moment. A lot of us might actually tend to think that streaming is completely contemporary and it's a medium that belongs strictly to this point in time. But it's important to recognize the actual logical development of streaming from its television roots, both in order to understand the history of streaming and to understand the trajectory of streaming. She makes the point that TV is transient and unstable, which is important to understand because as content creators, it's important for us to be attuned to these ongoing transitions of televisual mediums. That's both to make interesting content for other people to watch and make content that's meaningful for us and that explores something that we're interested in. Popular content shifts so rapidly uh, that these changes are how we understand and contextualize new content. Whether we're creating content or just simply consuming content. The second point of interest that I wanted to talk about was her description of streaming as a methods of continuing a conversation about labor in the digital economy. User-generated content offered gamers the opportunity to participate in a type of creative labor that a lot of them had never experienced before. And some of them were even given the opportunity to monetize it and become content creators full time. It's interesting to think about whether we retain our identity as a fan once we start creating content off what we enjoy and we actually start making money off of it. She makes the point that Yogscast finds their origins in content creation as fans, and as they gained notoriety, they retained their fanish identity, as she describes. Um, and I think it's also important to understand that they are deeply dependent on other gamer fans, and they have a shared identity with their fans as part of collective fandom that I think is the appeal to a lot of people who watch their content. They come in for a sense of shared identity as fans of the things that they like. And just one last point about spectators and how they fit into this labor economy. Spectators alone share labor with primary players in the form of offering tips and mapping out game space. If we pay attention to the way that spectators engage with their primary player, we can see how it allows the streamers to be less engaged with figuring the game out and more engaged with the viewers and the collective experience. So not only is the streamer putting in work, doing the stream, and being the face of the stream, the viewers are also participating in a very active way, uh, which makes you think, are they more than spectators? And how much influence do they have on the way that the primary player is playing the game? Does this collective experience go beyond watching for the watcher?